Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2025 Jayco Jayfeather 19 MRK travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it and show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple of things to take into consideration when you're parking this. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for this awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, besides leaving room for your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be all the way in the rear on your off camp or driver's side of your tow vehicle, and then your water connection is going to be just above the tires. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we'll do is level our unit. The unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light. Should you arrive at night, simply lower or raise the unit until you're level. Now, should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper, you will have this crank handle that'll fit down in there onto a knob and get this up and down without power. So speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these new quick drop stabilizing jacks. So what you can do is you'll unhook your little safety latch here, take your hand crank, give it about 2 cranks to the right. That'll allow you access to where you can grab this cotter pin, lift down on it, and drop these straight to the ground. Now once they're down, go ahead and crank until back down to the left until that's in there snug, and these are tight down onto some stabilizing jack pads. I'm going to recommend jack pads. They're going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and keep them from sinking into hot blacktop in the summer too. So grab a 4-pack of those with your 10% off coupon, put them down, run these down just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's already level. These are stabilizing jacks. So get it level and stable. Next thing we do is hook up our power and water. Again, big long 30 amp cord plugs in here on the rear. Have a pistol grip here. They'll go in, say 11 o'clock, turn it to noon, put your black washer on. Now at the end of that, in your convenience pack, will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're hooking up to city water connection. Grab your water pressure regulator, hook that up, hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours happens to be located over here on the campsite, toward the rear. And all we're doing at this point is, this will lift right off here. Make sure that that is on and that our little thumb screw down there in the bottom. At the end of the season, you can turn that to the left and it'll dump a little bit of water that's left inside these. So just make sure that that is back to the right, and you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a few minutes, we'll go inside and open our slide if we have to. What I need you to do is get in there and open up your water lines, your sinks, your showers. This one you shouldn't have to open up your slide. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Once that's all set up, go ahead and shut your water off, and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping, or as they like to call it, boondocking. Well, in that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank, which also happens to be over on your campsite, just above your tires. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can just gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Don't leave this unattended. Once it's full, put this cap back on there. And then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using your city water. That's already pressurized. Alright, we're all set with power and water. Let me walk you around the rest of the outside. I'm going to start up front here with your propane. It does have a cover and a regulator, lefty loosey to open. It'll show your levels on here. Point this toward the tank you wish to be using. These individuals are great because now you can see how much is going to be inside your tank. Again, check our battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's loose. Got some docking lights on here. They turn on from inside. Here, this is your battery disconnect. It'll disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. Got some lighting here. Your slide, we'll open that up here shortly. Keep it closed so I can show you your low point drains. Right here is going to be your freshwater drain. Again, your city water connection. Up here is your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. There's an area to hold your sewage hose in. An outdoor shower. Again, our power. This is where you plug in the cable at the campsites. And then back here is our main low point drains. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there several times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You also prep for a backup camera. Coming down to the campsite, again, our hot water heater. Flue on your furnace. So a couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of these. They do get hot. And they also sell bug guards for those as well. Got a couple of outdoor speakers, a vent for your hood range indoors. Lift this off here. Connect that to a TV and that will snap right on here. Plug in your cable in 110 here for that TV. Again, your fresh water. Usually where your fresh water is. Freshwater drain. So drain for that on the other side. And your pass-through storage here. Up there's where you'll hang your crank handles. Your other light, 110, and then this is your docking lights up here. It's your blue ones. All right, let's go take a look on the inside. So either coming in or out of these steps, I just want to mention you want to have your exterior door all the way open. Otherwise, this will catch on your door. But once your door is open, if you're going to bring your awning out, you're going to have this door closed somewhat. Otherwise, your door will catch on your awning. Got porch light. That'll light this up underneath here in case you're coming in dark. First thing I always like to point out inside is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway. Coming up. Top here is going to be our control panel. As we check the levels of your battery. Fresh, black, and gray tanks. You have fresh ones. The one I said keep an eye on this when you're filling it up. To get to that water, there's where you turn on the water pump. Living room lighting, awning lighting, slide control, and awning control. Go ahead and run that slide out. It's going to hit extend. First, you want to make sure everything is clear outside and that you have plenty of room to open this. Once you hear this noise, that's the slide mechanism saying I'm all the way out. Let go of the button. Over here, awning. Now on your awning extension, you only want to run these out until it's all the way out and you can see the flap fall down and you can see the bar. If you hold that down past that point, that will flip up onto itself and start to run itself up backwards. So only run it out as far as you need to. Make sure you don't run it out farther than that. Just keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Also on awnings, yeah, they've got a pitch control. Sometimes that flap will stick. There it goes. As far as you want to run that out. They do have a pitch control. If it's a light rain and you want to run your rainwater run one way, pull down on that. That's going to tilt your awning. But I just recommend bringing them in. Rain, wind, they're great for shade. I just do not, what's the slide? I do not recommend leaving them out in any type of stormy winds, high winds, heavy rains. bring them in. It's worth it just to bring it in and save yourself the trouble. As I bring that in, down here I will mention is your hot water heater. You turn this on here after your tank is full, and then you just set it at the desired temperature. It's on demand, not the tank is full. Once water is in the unit, sorry. Alright, shut off my awning light. Tell you these doors close best when gently slammed. Alright, coming up into the unit, your television. When you get to the campsite, go in here, run a digital channel scan so that you can pick up all the local channels at your campsite. Sound system. Shut that back off. Sound system down here. AM, FM, Bluetooth, dual zoned indoor and outdoor speakers. Turn it on. See if we can pick up a station in here. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. So indoor speakers, outdoor speakers, or both. Again, AM, FM, Bluetooth, auxiliary, ARC. You touch that once for mute, hold it in to shut it off. Continuing in, we got a self-explanatory microwave. Below that, a light and fan above your cooktop. These tops make an excellent backsplash. Just flip it backwards. You'll just turn this to light and press it in, and that's what'll light these now. You do have a manual on this. Where they go? Speaking of manuals, oh here they are. They're up in here. You got a bag full of manuals in here. Make sure you check those out. Plumbing. Just want to mention, if you travel a lot in this, you want to check your plumbing now and then. Just make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. If you're bouncing your house up and down the road, you want to check things out. Usually the square hole screws will hold your access panel. In there will be your water pump for winterizing. Fridge opens from here, controls up there, remote in there as well. A couple things in your bathroom. You got a 110 with GFCI reset. You have a hand crank open, power exhaust vent, and some more plumbing to keep an eye on. There's your access panel. It's mostly PEX nowadays, but again, if you travel a lot and you move this a lot, you want to check things out, make sure nothing's getting loose over time. Here's your solar controller panel. Whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panel from overcharging your batteries. Only thing you really have to be concerned about is making sure that you're on the right battery. This will be set on a wet or flooded battery. I'll send you a separate video from Go Power on this. Pretty easy to use. Charging port 110's here. Our tables do have a removable seat. Excuse me. Our seating does have a removable table. Emergency exit window. Flip up on these. This whole window will push out. 110 and charging port here. We've got our smoke alarm up here. Here's the hand crank open power exhaust. 4 different speeds on that. Alright, let's talk about your sofa. Cup holders here, or let's turn it into a jackknife bed. Or come up here, release this, and drop this for your whole bed. You have wireless charging ports here. You just set your phone on top of it to charge. Pull this away. Lastly, our AC and thermostat over here on the wall. Push that in, turn this dial. That'll change your mode to cool. Press it again to a high fan. That should crank up your AC. Click through, go back over to your mode to off. It should shut off rather quickly. Or change your mode to furnace. You hear that kick on as you return underneath there. Now you'll notice when I shut that heat off, it does take a minute for that fan to cycle through before it shuts off. Down here is your carbon monoxide propane detector. That is 12 volt. That is always running off your battery. Keep that in mind. If you're out boondocking, nothing charged, don't have a good charge in your battery, go ahead and use that battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down. Usually your solar controller will keep that pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and return some things. So, closing the unit up, first thing I like to do, I'm going to put our bed back. Put this up. Here's jacking up that back. First thing I like to do is shut off my interior lighting. Now I see any other lighting that's on is individual lighting that I need to walk through and shut off. We don't want this lighting on as we're traveling down the road. And all the other lighting we can shut off from over here. Come back over, turn my lights on and say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Your bed's securely attached there. And let's just bring the slide in. One small thing I forgot to mention on your television, if you pull down on that strap, that will release this so that you can swivel it to wherever you need. Alright, we're in. Let's exit the unit. Again, on these steps, make sure this door is all the way open before trying to lift this up. Your feet are also adjustable. Set this inside and lock it. That's going to keep that from banging against your screen. Now before we leave the dump station, and I say that because you're going to want to get in there and check your dumps, you're going to lift and turn this handle, lock and deadbolt that door. Alright, if we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks, come over to our off camp side where it says low point drain, get up underneath there and pull that white handle. That's going to be a freshwater tank. Dump that and head on home or the nearest dump station, whatever you're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we'll bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. I just want to show you bringing these up just as quickly. Give a couple cranks to the right, excuse me, to the left. That will loosen this. Lift right up on it and you're all the way to the top already. A couple more cranks, we're done. Go ahead and attach this safety chain. Bring up all of them and head on up to the dump station. So now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be all the way at the rear of the unit, right behind your tires, on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes to your convenience pack. We're going to hook that up and pull our black handle. Your black handle is your sewage. And it sounds like that's no longer draining. Go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty or close to it, come back out here. Leave this handle open. Hook up the hose at the dump station to this tank flush. Again, emphasizing leaving that handle open. Turn that hose on, let that wash your black tank out. Get all that nastiness out of there. When that's done, close that up. Make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained Then close your black and pour your gray. Now while my grays are draining, those are cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. I'll go ahead and dump my low point drains. When that gray is done, close that gray handle, take that sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it in your stinky slinky tube and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Jayfeather for many years to come. Happy camping!